Yo my people, welcome back to another episode of Project 30, a 30-day module where I teach you guys completely free of charge how to trade. If you guys haven't gone and seen the other episodes, make sure you go and check them out because everything I'm about to say in this episode will not make sense. But in today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to backtest and collect data because this is something that people struggle with and I personally didn't know how to do when I first started off. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to properly collect data and refine your strategy, etc, etc. I'll be honest, I personally haven't been taught a specific way. There might be a way better than what I'm about to teach you guys out there, but this is personally the way that I went about collecting data, refining my strategy, testing my strategy, etc, etc. Does that make sense? Now in the next episode, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to find and refine your trading strategy. But in this one, I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how to backtest using the concepts which I've taught you guys so far. Now before I get into this episode, make sure you guys feel free to join the free Discord community in the link of the description. As for now, we've got 1,000 members in here. God knows when this video's out, it might be 1,500, whatever it may be. I'll see you guys in there. Now there's so many different sections in here: free value section, psychology section, etc. There's public outlooks, crypto sections, gym, self-improvement, everything is in here. This is generally the only trading server out there that you'll find which actually is about leveling up, not only in trading but in every aspect in life. There's a lot of blessed brothers in here, so make sure you guys go and check them out. And also, if you guys want exclusive access to this Project 30 section where I've got my strategy, daily markups, resources, psychology, everything and so much more, make sure you guys check out the link in the description. And alhamdulillah, so far, like since I've moved Project 30 server into this server, because originally there was a whole separate server for it, but since I've moved it over into the main server, I've sent out 15 outlooks and all of them have landed to the exact T apart from 2. You guys can see this was a video outlook which I sent over to my students. I expected EURUSD to go higher before it went lower for the entire week, and as you guys can see, what did EURUSD do? It went higher and then it sold off. But that's enough talking about that. Let's actually get on to the good stuff, why you guys actually came here. The first thing you guys want to do is go on fxreplay.com. This is where you want to backtest your strategy and you want to backtest price action. You want to backtest to build your market experience. You want to backtest for the sake of practicing. You want to backtest to go and test something, whatever it is, come here. If you guys want to pay for it, you can pay for it. However, I'm not going to be doing that because I don't backtest anymore. Now what you guys want to do is press get started for free, and you guys want to put your email in here. Of course, this is not my email. Please don't just email anything because it's not mine. Now FX Replay allows you to do a 5-day free trial. So for the username, I'm just going to put a random letter, put in a password that you're going to remember. Once you press that, it's going to ask you to go and verify your email. Once you've confirmed your email, you're waiting for this to eventually pop up. Now the next thing you guys want to do is press monthly and start a 5-day free trial. I would highly suggest you guys pay for this. FX Replay, please don't sue me. I'm simply just trying out your services for video demonstration purposes. I do not backtest. Please leave me alone. Next, you guys want to do, go over to 5-day free trial. Let's proceed to check out, put in your card details, and then I'm going to see you guys over in a second. Now, once you go ahead with the 5-day free trial, just press novice trader, press anything random. I don't care about any of this. Once again, get that all out of the way. Now, this is the new FX Replay, and I do know this is better, but I haven't backtested using the new software. So I'm going to try and figure out how to use it, but I usually use the old version. Nevertheless, let's actually just go ahead and try and figure this out. But in all seriousness, like jokes aside, I would highly suggest you guys pay for it. Why? Because when you pay for it, you get to stack your data. What do I mean by this? With your 5-day free trials, you can only collect a certain amount of analytics of your performance, etc. Whereas when you actually go ahead and pay for it, you can collect data across until your subscription ends. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it's just going to have multiple bits of 5-day free trial data of your strategy. Does that make sense? So please guys, in all seriousness, please don't abuse it. I'm simply just using FX Replay 5-day free trials so I can test out the services and show it to other people. With that being said, let's continue on. So the first thing we want to do is go into session, press create session, put a random letter for the session. Let's put a 10k balance and let's just try over EURUSD, which is what we trade. Now in terms of year, let's just go back to last year. Let's go back to, I don't know, March 13th. Put a random date in, end date, just put today basically. Press create session and now we're ready to go ahead. So let's go to chart. Like I said guys, I haven't tried this new software out, so I'm kind of new to this as well. I'm generally freestyling this bit. First thing we want to do is get that out of the way. You see, we go over here, you see where it says volume, put this in the bin, turn this indicator off. Next thing you guys want to do is press expand chart. Now when you guys hop onto this, like your indicators won't be here, your chart colors won't be here. The reason why all of my indicators and it's all set up similar to my trading view is because I've used FX Replay on the same desktop before, so I'm pretty sure they just recognized who I am and they just set it up. But nevertheless, the same drill with episode 1. I want you guys to go over here and favorite all of these time frames, press the star, go over to here and favorite all of these things that you see here essentially. Now you see this thing here at the bottom left, this tool here, use the 6 dots to drag it around your screen, just keep it in the middle. Make sure this is pressed on. What this is going to do is if you go on the 15-minute time frame, this will play it on the 15-minute time frame. Whereas if you were to have that unticked off, if you were to go back to the 1-minute time frame and play a candle, you're going to play 15 minutes worth of data. Does that make sense? So make sure that this is on. Me personally put the speed on max. On indicators, search up sessions and press the first one. This has all of my settings already done out for me, but essentially you guys want to copy these settings here. I'll leave this on the screen for a second. Now sometimes you will have to go put this back an hour and put this forward an hour depending on what time of year it is. Now to make sure that you're on the right time, go over to where it says here time zone and make sure that, for me personally I trade London, so I'm going to make sure that it's on London. Now just to check that all of the time frames are the same, I can see here the New York started at 1 o'clock, so cool, this is perfect. Like I said to you guys in episode 4, 5, 6, I can't remember which one, but I told you guys that New York session starts at 1 o'clock, London session starts at 8 o'clock in the morning for UK time. Nevertheless, what are the concepts that we know so far? We know daily bias, we know liquidity sweep, so I'm going to try trade just purely the concepts which I've taught you guys, not the strategy. So cool, me personally, I like to do a top-down analysis, and so far I can see that Euro USD, what have we done? We have swept liquidity here. We've also mitigated this order block here, and it looks like we're starting to reverse towards the upside. So maybe I can draw out my standard deviation target. Also, like I said, you guys make sure the settings are all done for your Fibonacci tool, etc. I forgot to say, to fix your candle settings, where is it at? Move these 6 dots over on the screen, press the settings, and of course tick off the boxes that I've taught you guys what to do. But nevertheless, I can see the standard deviation 2 to 2.5 is still very far away. I can see that there's liquidity resting here, these relatively equal highs. I can see that so far this bullish fair value gap here, we've just snapped into it and we're respecting it. So in this case, right now, I'm bullish. So what do? Drop down to the lower time frame. Let's start refining. I can see, cool, we have this order block here. And what can I also see? There is liquidity just inside of this order block. So I wouldn't want to be buying. Why? Because this is clearly early buys. The order block hasn't been tapped, but there's liquidity here. And we know that if this was to get taken, then it was to tap the order block, and then it was to fly up, that would make more logical sense. Why? Because we've taken out early buyers out of the market. We've swept liquidity inside of a point of interest where we're expecting a reversal. Accidentally headbutted my mic there. So as for now, I'm simply just going to wait for essentially price to, if it wants to come down here, it can come down. If not, I'm not going to chase out this setup. I'm not going to get FOMO and just greedily enter the market. So literally all I would do is I press go to and I press go to next session. So far this is clearly a lack of manipulation, so I'm just going to wait. If this goes and takes the drawn liquidity, I'm perfectly fine with this. Like I said, I don't get FOMO. I'm not going to try force out a setup. I'm going to wait to see if we come here. Boom. What did I say? So this is what I'm saying. These days here where price was just expanding away, by the way, wallahi, this is straight freestyle. If I hit stop loss, I'll show you guys a hit stop loss. If I hit TP, I'll show you guys a hit TP. But these days here where price was simply expanding away from the order block, however it hasn't tapped it, was clearly a fake out to invite early buyers into the market. Now once again, we've had quite a few candles play out, so I want to see how these candles close. But once again, waiting for the 4-hour candle closure. It's looking so far not too good. This is more looking like a liquidity sweep to take out these highs to then go make a move lower. So far I'm not interested in this price action right now. We've got a market short shift so far, and this order block is looking like it's about to get absolutely touched. So once again, just checking the high time frames, nothing really to see. I can see that there's maybe this order block here that price wants to tap into, and once again, to be honest, this makes more logical sense. Why? Because there's equal lows here, there's this fair value gap, there's order block here. So realistically, I don't even want to be buying off of this order block. I'm expecting it to get ran through. But with that being said, once again, we can just go and press go to next session. All right, cool. Once again, going into Asia, I can see we're very close towards this swing low. So let's see, do we get anything? Getting a move up. This is calm, looking like a bit of manipulation going on. Go to the 4-hour time frame. I can see we've tapped into this 4-hour fair value gap. However, once again, from this swing high to this swing low, it's going to take me a minute to find the A plus setup, but as for now, I'm not taking anything. And this is how you guys should be trading. All of this can happen, and you guys shouldn't be getting FOMO and rushing into the market, essentially. But as for now, if I just draw out my fib tool, I can see, all right, cool, a rebalance of this recent ranges here. And why I've done that is because I'm assuming a standard deviation target has been hit. All right, apparently not. A standard deviation has not been hit. However, the 2 to 2.5 is perfectly in line with this liquidity pool here from doing the last manipulation move to the market structure shift. However, like I said, I don't want to be selling all the way down here, so I at least want to see a rebalance of this recent range down here. But once again, just playing price action on. Do we get a rebalance? If not, like I said, don't get FOMO, don't rush the trade. Right now, it's just chopping around, accumulating, right? Nothing. Let me play this on quicker speed. Chopping around, accumulation. Right, going into the next day, we've now taken out the previous daily high. So this is good. And this is sort of looking like an AMD model. We can see accumulation. What do we then have? Manipulation towards the upside. Let's play this out. All right, I don't like this. Why? Because we've swept lower. However, we haven't rebalanced equilibrium of the most recent range. If you just draw out my fib tool just to triple check I've done that correctly. Once again, 0.5 has not been hit. However, we've just came so close to it. So if anything, this looks like a fake out move, if anything. As for now, I'm not looking to get into the market. Nothing appetizing whatsoever. And in this case, it's sold off. And even then, none of you guys would have been able to catch this unless you aggressively entered. But as for now, you can see this fair value gap never got tapped back into. So once again, I'm not going to take anything. I'm just going to wait. So let's try to see what is going on here, because I must have done something wrong. So cool. That's clearly a mistake. I neglected seeing how the daily candle closed, and in this case it closed respecting this fair value gap. So maybe I could have caught a sell there. So far on the daily time frame, I can see there's this order block here. So cool. So far on the daily time frame, I can see, all right, cool, maybe I might have been wrong. This high shouldn't get taken just yet. We've tapped into this order block and we've respected it. And so far, if we go back to the 4-hour time frame, once again, this 4-hour PDA rate is holding bearish. So if anything, it looks like we want to go and sell off, tap this order block maybe. But even then, I wouldn't want to be buying off of this order block. Why? Because there's all of this liquidity below. So you know what? As for now, I'm going to try catch a sell towards this liquidity down here. So let's go on to the next day. So cool, going into the London session just straight away selling off towards the downside. Nothing to catch. Let's wait for a manipulation move higher, and boom, just like that, we're starting to come back into the range. Let's go on the 4-hour time frame, see if there's anything going on. Tapping into this 4-hour fair value gap, might be able to catch a sell here. Let's wait. I can see that we have this order block here. So once again, I'm just waiting. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to force anything up. Let's go. We're playing it on slowly. Do I see anything interesting? No market shot shift. It's looking like a fake out to get early sellers in. Do we get anything clean? This isn't clean. Outside the time frame as well. Next day. Right, I'm probably gonna have to cut ahead of this video, but okay, boom. Right, so far we might be able to catch something. This 4-hour order block is holding, and what have we also done? We have swept liquidity multiple times. However, this does invalidate my setup, so I'm not gonna take this. You guys can see there's equal highs. So once again, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not gonna take these poor quality trade setups. Why is it taking so long for me to find a decent setup for you guys? And there we go. The equal highs got absolutely touched. So let's see. Can we get anything, please? I'm probably gonna end up skipping ahead to the point on when I do actually find something interesting in the market. Alright, so cool. I can see we just came back into this order block. If we go back to the 4 hour time frame, this just looks like a liquidity sweep to tap back into the order block to then give a market short shift, showing to me that we want to go lower. As for now, all I want to see is a retracement into a PD array or something to catch a trade, man. And instead, we just don't do that. We're just chopping around. Oh my days. Alright, cool. Right. Once again, so far I can see that we've tapped into this order block. We're bearish. Hopefully going into this London session, we might be able to catch something. So just quickly breaking down my thought process on this, I can see this order block here has been tapped into. We've invited all of these buyers into the market and we've came towards these equal lows down here. Using the concepts that we know, all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out my fib tool. I can see that we have this premium fair value gap up here. And all I'm going to wait for is a rebalance of this fair value gap. Please don't just dump. Alright, we might actually be able to get some today. Never mind. It's going to dump, isn't it? You know what? In this case, I'm just playing around with my fib tool. I can see that the 0.5 of this range got hit. Maybe not the whole entire range. And also looking at it, I can see this order block here got sniped. And what did we do? We swept all of this liquidity up here. We gave this inversion fair value gap. We gave a market short shift. So right now, you know what? I'm going to take entry off of this fair value gap up here. 6.4 pip stop loss. I'm happy with that. I don't trade the 15-minute time frame. 1 to 5 risk reward ratio. Now we're going to place an order. Initial balance here. Sell, limit, risk amount 1%. And this usually all does it for you. Press save and journal. So this is where you guys can start collecting data. Press take screenshot. It will literally take a screenshot for you. Checklist. Have a checklist set up. I don't know how you set that up. Tags. You can create tags. Trade rating. What you think of this one is probably like a 4-star. Put some notes. Whatever you want to detail about. Any details you want to do about this trade. What this is going to do is it's basically like journaling. Because once you collect multiple trade samples, you can go and see. All right, cool. With all of my wins, I always see that there's a market short shift at this time. Whereas with all of my losses, I see that there's a market short shift outside of the time frame that I'm trading. So I might implement a trading rule where I'm not trading after 4 p.m. or something. So once again, you press save and then this will journal the trade for you. Now let's see how the trade plays out. If it tags me in, let's just see. Do we get any? All right, this is outside of time frames, but I'm still going to take it just for the sake of taking the trade. Oh my days, no way, hold on. Listen, I'm going to break even. If I'm being honest, this trade should not hit TP, but nevertheless, we've got to break a structure. So in my rules, like following my rules, this is where I'd go break even. It's going to hit break even, isn't it? It's going to embarrass me. Oh my, okay, yeah, guys, wallahi. Boom, TP hit. So cool, just like that, 5% made on the account. Very easy. And this is the importance of not rushing any trades, not forcing out any trade setups. Why? When you end up forcing out some poor quality setups, all of them days where I could have forced out a setup and got a bad trade, I would have lost 9 out of 10 of them trades. Whereas if I was to wait for that A+ setup day like this, you should be trading like this. Maybe not to an extent where you're waiting like 2-3 months for a trade setup. Unless you're swing trading, you should be waiting for them A+ setups. But nevertheless, quick breakdown of this trade. Let me just start all over again. Higher time frame is key. What can I see? We've tapped into this order block, respected it and started to move down. We've came back up, tapped into this order block, respected it and started to move down as well. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, what can I see? I can see this huge bullish fair value gap here has been inversed. We swept liquidity at the highs, so I know we're most likely to go and sweep liquidity at the lows. I can see that we have all of this liquidity here at the lows. You can see all of these relatively equal lows. Buyers are looking at this as a level of support. Retracement back into this order block, which has been respected, and we've now left a fair value gap towards the downside. As you guys can see, this fair value gap here has been respected, so bearish pressure is in the market. I told you guys on episode 1, make sure the higher time frame and the lower time frame are aligning. So far, I'm slowly dropping down time frames, and I can see they're aligning. 15-minute time frame, what could I see? I can see that we've had this liquidity sweep here. We've taken out these Asia highs. Using my Fibonacci tool from this swing high to literally this low, I can see that 0.5 has been hit. I play around with the Fib tool when it's on the lower time frame. But overall, I can see the 0.5 has been sniped, respected, and now it's pushing down. I can see this order block here has been tapped, once again, respected. I can see that we had this bullish inversion fair value gap. That wasn't enough for me to enter, so I've waited for a market shot to shift. As you guys can see, we have now gotten the market shot to shift here. So what have I done to take my entry? I've simply taken it off of this fair value gap over here. This is the definition of absolute sniper entry. Stop loss on the swing high. Would I have taken the trade? Absolutely not. It's a very good trade, don't get it twisted. Considering the fact that I haven't used any confluences which I use in my actual strategy, trading the basic concepts which I've taught you guys, if I'm being honest, very, very good trade. But nevertheless, you guys can see, just like that, we hit those 1 to 5 risk reward ratios. Yeah, good risk reward ratio, good trade, A+ setup. And this is the importance of take profits at very good levels, right? Instead of being them high risk reward ratio traders that could have swung it down to 1 to 13, imagine going through all of this just to pay yourself an extra couple percent. Whereas you could have just taken out a 1 to 5, secured that profit, secured that that profit on your account. Imagine this being a real 10k funded or a 100k funded account. You guys would have got a $500 or a $5,000 payout. I forgot to mention, for those of you guys that are looking at getting into prop firm trading and you guys are wondering which prop firm you should go for, I would highly suggest Breakthrough Capital. I'm currently a 6-figure funded trader with these lot, and they have paid me out. They've got amazing spreads, they've got amazing market conditions to trade with. with. So I'd highly suggest that you guys go and check them out. The link will be in the description. But anyway, that's enough for backtesting. What you guys now want to do is go over to your journal. You want to pull this out, no homo, and you press here. And once you've got data, you guys can start going over this and actually collecting data on your strategy. Is it actually profitable? And there's also a way to check your analytics. Let me try to figure out where that is. Alright, so cool. What you guys want to do is press the back thing here, this little arrow here to go back on the dashboard. This will now start showing you your analytics. Of course, because I've only taken one trade, I've got 100% win rate, 500 P&L, risk reward, etc. But the more trades you take, the more detail you have on your actual trading strategy. You guys can go back to any point in time over here. And literally over here is where you guys can go into analytics, and here's more data on your strategy, your wins, your losers, etc. This is how you guys collect data on your strategy. Now, to know if your strategy is profitable, literally just search up risk reward on Google, go on images. Let's just say if you go back here, and once you've collected 100 or 200 trade samples, and you can see your average risk reward is, let's just say, a 1 to 3. So you go over here and you see, cool, I'm averagely going for 1 to 3s. What's my win rate? Your win rate will be, where is it? Your win rate is over here. So you guys want to see, cool, the win rate is this much percent. So let's just say you have a 50% win rate of a 1 to 3. You are more than profitable. That's your strategy, at least. Your actual performance will depend on the real markets. Backtesting is a lot easier than, okay, maybe not easier. They both have their pros and cons, but backtesting requires zero emotion, whereas forward testing requires your patience and your emotion. For example, that trade there, it's on a 15-minute time frame. Remember when you guys saw it went into profit, I went break even, and it came all the way back near my break even? Some people could have panicked and took out if that was a real trade. Does that make sense? But your backtesting will help you confirm, yo, the strategy actually works, the strategy is profitable, etc. And that way you guys can start forward testing the strategy and seeing if you work with it. Now, I spoke more about that in detail in the next episode that's due to come out after this episode. But without spoiling anything too much, all I'd basically say is, like I said, just because your strategy on backtesting works doesn't mean that you will be able to work it in the actual live markets. Does that make sense? Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't fancy being in a trade for a whole day, 2 days, just for it to come back to break even after. It's long. But like I said, this will help confirm your strategy actually works. And when you go over to your journal and you've actually collected proper data, you guys can go over here, press open, and there'll be tags, right? So tags can be maybe a confluence, maybe like an inversion fair value gap. But with these tags, like if you create a new tag, and it's not letting me do it, I don't know how you guys do it, you're gonna have to figure that out because I can't be bothered. But nevertheless, like I said, with these tags, you guys can start seeing that, yo, cool, majority of my trades that hit TP, I often have the tag being a confluence, which I like to use. And majority of my trades that hit stop loss, like I said, I have a tag of a trade that I don't like to use. Does that make sense? This can help you in so many different ways. It can help you show like your confidence rating that you guys can have during the trade. The checklist, I don't know how you create a checklist. Okay, checklist is over here. You create a checklist. Let's say your strategy is called the flying Komodo strategy. And for your checklist, you guys can look for, I don't know, daily bias, liquidity sweep, market short shift, fair value gap, entry. And there you go, you've got a checklist. And just like that, like I said, when you guys go over and you're actually trading, you have that checklist there. And that way when you're going over here, you guys can make sure that everything's been teched off. And you get the point. You collect data. Yeah, you're getting it. Now this is the next thing I want to go over. This video has been slightly long, so apologies for that. And trust me guys, it's all beneficial knowledge in the end. Once again, FX Replay, thank you for letting me use your software. I really appreciate the 5-day free trial. I do not abuse this method. I don't backtest anymore. When I used to pay like a very good person. But nevertheless, next thing that I want to teach you guys how to do is journaling, right? So you guys can join the server, and in here there's free gems. By the time you guys have joined, inshallah, there's going to be so much more in these sections. There's a section for psychology, and there's so much more. But nevertheless, journaling is just literally simply going over your trades, reflecting on your trades after you've taken them in the live markets. What I've just showed you guys there, this is the FX Replay journal. There's no emotions involved, so of course it's not as realistic as the live journal. But you guys can go over this in your spare time and join the server and check this out. Right, but I'm still going to read it out to you. Essentially, how I journal my trades is I will open this app. It's like there's an app called OneNote, right? Press this link, download it. As you guys can see, once you're on here, make sure you have different sections for your take profits and your stop losses. How to add that is literally press like my notebook, press add section, and then title it stop loss, take profit, whatever it may be. So make sure you guys keep 2 different sections for your take profits and your stop losses. What this is going to do is, once you've got a lot of data, for example, let's just say, this was a section for all of my stop losses, and this here was a section for all of my TPs. I can go over this and see, cool, this day when I hit TP, I was trading during London session. This day I hit TP, trading London session, New York session, London session, London session. You've noticed the pattern there, right? Once you've collected data on your actual strategy forward testing, you notice that, wait, hold up a minute. Majority of my wins, they come from when I'm trading London session. So in that case, ideally, I want to be trading London session slightly more. And then let's say you guys go over to the stop loss section and you see, cool, I've taken a loss, New York session, London session, New York. Majority of your losses are coming from New York and your wins are coming from London session, because maybe you're trading a pair that moves better in London session. For example, GBP, JPY, that does move good in London session. So in that case, you will say, hold up, why am I trading London when all of my losses are coming from London? I've got a 50% win rate with a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. So if I just cut off the majority of my losses, my win rate will just go flying over the roof, and the profits I actually make on my account is just going to be like exponential. And in that case, you guys can literally just go ahead and just remove New York session out of your trading. You can add that to your trading plan. You can add that to your trading rules. Like I said, keep your stop losses in separate sections. But nevertheless, you guys literally, how you guys want to do it is take a screenshot of the trade, upload it over to here. Literally how I do it is I literally go over here, press snipping tool, screenshot wherever I need to screenshot, press edit, copy, go over to whatever I need to copy, right click and press paste, and then I'll paste the image. But yeah, you guys want to screenshot like your trade so you actually know what it looks like. You guys want to put the trade entry model. So let's just say you're looking for a reversal, and let's say it was during the New York session, so you can call it the New York reversal. I don't know, I'm just thinking of a name. But the analysis of the trade, it should also be here on the chart. Your analysis, your liquidity sweep, your market short shift. Put the pros, the good things that you done, anything good psychology, maybe you followed your rules. Cons, you didn't wait for, I don't know, let's say you didn't wait for one of your confluences, or maybe you overlooked the higher time frame, you neglected higher time frame bias this day. In that case, I don't know how that follows into you following your rules, but nevertheless, you write your emotions. This is another thing I want you guys to do. Write your emotions. Write how you felt before, after, and during the trade. Put how much you lost, put the date. For those of you guys that want to track your actual data on your strategy for testing, which is what I personally do now, if you guys are beginners, I would not recommend you guys even bothering doing this. Like, take me seriously. Do not bother tracking your data if you're a beginner and you're still working on your strategy. Why? Why would you track something that you're working on that you haven't even fixed and said that that's your strategy? Like, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to track your win rate and your losses and all of these things, and you're going to be thinking like, yo, my strategy doesn't even work and I just started off trading, like, let me quit. You're going to be too harsh on yourself, and you're going to keep judging yourself over your win rate even though you haven't even got an actual strategy. For those of you guys that want to cut all of these backtesting phases, etc., make sure you go check out the link in the description, because that's where you guys will find me and my trading strategy. But nevertheless, once you guys do have a trading strategy and you've backtested it first, then you forward tested it, and then all of a sudden you guys want to start tracking your win rate and your actual data, feel free to use this free template. Also, another thing for journaling. Now, I've recently started doing this, and to be honest, it has helped me quite a lot. I'll journal my pre-market analysis, my thoughts. So literally, for example, if I go over to TradingView, let's just say, let's go on the 15-minute time frame, and let's just pretend we were on a random day here. Maybe let's just say I had this order block here marked out, and I had this point of liquidity resting here. What I'll do is, once again, same thing. I'll take a screenshot of this image. I'll go over to OneNote. I'll upload this image, and I'll say, obviously, have a different section for this. Keep your take profit, stop loss, and your detailed journal in 2 different sections. But this is what I call detailed journaling. So literally, paste the image of pre-market analysis. Put here pre-market analysis. Put the analysis. Put your thought process as well. Put what you're looking for. Are you indecisive? How are you feeling? Are you feeling a bit scared of the market? Maybe there's a news event and you're a bit scared. Like, what do you do? And put your thoughts, and literally, once you've written out it on paper, and you've not on paper, but once you've written it all out, you guys will literally be able to figure out that, cool, so I'm looking for this, but I'm kind of scared if this happens. So if this happens, I'm just gonna hop off charts to let's just call the day early. So literally do your pre-market analysis, what you're thinking during the session. If anything's updated, your bias has maybe changed. If maybe something's happening and you're a bit confused, so maybe you just write down like, all right, maybe, I don't know, we haven't taken liquidity yet, so I'm just simply waiting. I'm not going to take any trades. If it doesn't take liquidity in the next couple minutes, then I'm going to hop off charts because it's now outside of the time frame to trade. And let's say you do take a trade, then once again, journal before you take the trade. I'm feeling very confident in this trade. I followed my rules. I followed my entry criteria. I'm just going to let the trade do its thing. If it hits stop loss, I'm not angry because I followed my rules. That way you will avoid taking so many stupid losses, right? Let's just say you go and take some half-hearted setup, like you just take a buy here randomly. Before you take this buy, you'll be like, all right, I'm about to take an entry off of this order block here. I don't know. Hold up, we haven't even given a market short shift. There's no liquidity sweep. What am I doing? And then you clock, like, you realize yourself in the moment. What are you doing? And literally that way you avoid so many losses. So this is the boring stuff, right? It's boring. Collecting data, backtesting, once again, journaling, all of this stuff is boring. But I promise you guys now, you're going to regret. I'm telling you guys now, by the way, I'm going to go check the analytics of this video. Half of the people have probably clicked off this video right now. And this is probably going to be the longest video like I've made in Project 30 after all of the edits and stuff and cuts and whatnot, for a very specific reason. Why? Because it's value. I'm giving you guys value. I'm telling you guys this, the boring stuff, the serious stuff that you guys have to do. Me personally, I've never lacked that issue with never journaling. I've always journaled. When I've found out about journaling, I've journaled it. It sounds very weird for a guy like me in a master say journal, but I'm telling you guys now, journaling will save you so many losses. It will help you refine your strategy in real time. It will help you refine your psychology, work on your psychology, work on your risk man, everything. You will know what the problem is. So many people are unprofitable. I asked them, do you journal? No, I don't journal. What did you expect? If you're unprofitable, there's a problem, right? How can you change the problem if you don't know what the cause is? Cause and effect. You can't change an effect by looking at the effect. You have to look at the cause of the effect every single day. Like me personally, as a trader, the biggest thing that held me back was my psychology. I used to have a very bad habit of getting FOMO, over trading, revenge trading, etc. All of these bad things. And that's what held me back. My technicals was on point. Never ever did I ever doubt my technicals. I trusted my strategy before I trusted myself. Literally. That was the only thing that held me back. Genuinely, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. The only thing that held me back wasn't my technicals, it was my psychology. And hadn't I have journaled and been able to keep up to date with all of these things that are going on in my head and how I'm acting in the market in real time, I would have never been able to improve. And you know what's so crazy? Wallahi, I kid you guys not. I made a video. You can go back on my TikTok. When I came on TikTok and I showed the whole world that, yo, I've blown my 6K live funded account, I told people openly, like, the reason why I blew it was because I was over trading. And I said I didn't even know I was an over trader until after I blew the account, I went over my journal. And you guys might be thinking, how often should I go over this journal? Because eventually you can start actually scrolling on this journal saying, yo, there's a trade there, trade there, trade there, trade there. When do I go over it? There's never really a rule. But what I would say to you guys is reflect on all of your trades at the end of the week. Just reflect over, have you done anything? And then once a month, once again, reflect over everything. Just quickly go through everything. Notice if there's a pattern in all of your losses or your wins. You guys want to identify when you're losing the most, take yourself out of that situation and put yourself in a situation where you're winning the most. But like I said, a lot of you guys are going to watch this video, you're going to get your 2-minute dopamine boost and you're going to be hella motivated to track data and yeah, so cool. You're going to do it for 2-3 days and then you're going to stop. Why? Because you don't have the discipline. You need discipline to journal. It sounds so stupid. I can't even believe I'm saying this. And one more thing I want to say to you guys before I finish this video is literally, if you're not journaling, if you're not tracking these things, these metrics on your backtesting, and you're just going into the markets every single day with no clue what you done yesterday, you haven't extracted any lessons from the wins or the losses that you made yesterday. Because even with my wins, I will have a trade which I've journaled and I've hit TP. I will always put a con. There will always be something I could have done better. Maybe I could have went stop loss break even sooner. Why was I hesitant with all of these things? There's so many things I could have done better. But literally, if you're going into every single day and you have no idea what you've learned the previous day, you're not extracting any lessons. You're just going into the market every single day, blindly guessing where the market's gonna go. You have a somewhat of a strategy with no data, never tracked it, never seen how good it actually is. You just enter the market and you feel like entering, you let your emotions take the better of you. You're a slave to your desires, my guy, and you're gambling. Like straight up, you're just gambling. You will never progress, right? The man that likes walking will go further than the man that enjoys the destination. There's a quote like that. So literally, the man that likes tracking his data, making sure he's up to date with his things, refining his strategy, making sure that he's at the best, he's the best version of himself, will go further than the man that does not give a flying toss about what he's doing in life. Like I say in all of my episodes, if you guys are trying to take your trading seriously and to the next entire level, make sure you go check out the link in the description. I'm hoping to see you inside of Project 30. It's been your boy 1FX. Take care, my people.